morning. Good morning from Melbourne, Australia. Good evening to friends in North America, and hello to anyone watching on replay as I try to get my camera centered a little better here. I did not help it a lot with that first move. Let's see here. That sort of sums up how my morning's going so far. Okay, let's give that a try. Good morning, Paula, or good evening to you. If you join me here, please do say hello. My name is Nancy Hetker. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Melbourne, Australia. I don't think I've said that already this morning. And today I am going to show you some cards. Well, I'm going to make some cards alongside you. I received this card from Jenny Haybraken, who is another demonstrator in Queensland, and we are, I guess, sister demos. We both have the same upline. We're both on Kylie's team, and we send random acts of kindness to each other at various times. This one actually she sent to me as a thank you for a birthday card I sent her. Hi, Mom. Thanks for joining today. And I thought, ooh, what a nice kind of clean design. I have this designer series paper. It's called Unbounded Beauty. And I haven't done a whole lot with it. Which means I have a bunch to use up because I'm guessing it's going to retire at the end of this annual catalog, which is at the end of April. So, yeah, I thought I'd play around. This inspired me to do a couple different variations. So, let's get stuck in. I have gone ahead and embossed. She's got an embossed layer here. She used a retired embossing folder. I went with something very close, and it's called Exposed Brick 3D embossing folder. And instead of this pattern of designer series paper, I chose this one to start with at least. So let's do basically the same thing she did. And one thing about these cards is that they're really easy to batch. So I went ahead and I did 3 of these layer pieces. It's just the first layer cut down. I've got some card bases all ready to go. I figured out the size for the squares, and I will have that in my blog post. It will be my very next blog post. If you want the sizes, I've got them in centimeters. I'll do my best approximations of the inches as well. I'm just going to do one for right now. And I'm going to take a moment and figure out which way I think that way is up. So I'm going to cut it on the diagonal this way. And to cut the diagonal, what you want to do is line up your points in your cutting track. And if you came from the top or the bottom, you'd mash into that corner and it wouldn't be very pretty. So come down into the middle of your square and then go up and down, and you preserve your corners. And then, just like she did, I'm going to put it on a piece of Summer Splash, a matte Summer Splash. That's 9.5 centimeters squared. Like so. So you can see that's going to be like that. Very similar to what she did. And again, I have that sentiment. Here we go. Sending flowers and thinking of you. And it's pretty how it fits in there and it fits with the flowers and everything. But it has also, it's out of Simply Zinnias, and that, at least here in Australia, it's on the last, it has been on the last chance list globally. And here in Australia, it is sold out, so it is now technically retired. So I was going to swap out, hoping you have the best day ever. Because I'm thinking I want to use some of these as swaps when I go to on stage next week. So I'm going to use that. And I'm going to start by going ahead and gluing this down. On stage is the annual convention, if you will, for Stampin' Up! Demonstrators. And it's being held next Thursday, Friday, Saturday in, I want to say Houston in the U.S., and in Brisbane here in the South Pacific. And I can't remember where in Europe, because I just didn't focus on that because I'm not going to Europe. But we all have our fingers crossed for various reasons, not just because On Stage is going there, but because we're genuinely concerned for people. We have a tropical cyclone that is about to hit the Queensland, southeast Queensland, northeast New South Wales coastal area, which is right where Brisbane is, and a tropical cyclone for Americans, that's a hurricane. So we're all concerned for our friends and family up there. I don't have family there, but I have friends who live up there. And yeah, we want to wish them well and hope that it doesn't affect anything a week from now when we're supposed to be there for On Stage. So I believe she used maybe black, maybe the Berry Burst, that darker purple color. I'm going to go with Pretty Peacock for the sentiment. There we go. One of the things that's fun about getting cards from other people is how they inspire you. And I started off thinking I'd just copy what she did pretty much exactly. And then I decided to put a few little twists on it because I wanted to use current product, and also just because it's nice to change things up a little bit. Okay, so I'm going to glue this on. So if I were doing these, a whole batch of them, the same, I would do each step. Like I would go through and I would cut all my bases, and then I would cut all of these basic white layers, which is what I did. And then I would run them all through the embossing folder, which is what I did. And then I would cut all of the Designer Series paper squares and all of the colored cardstock squares. And then I would proceed like I did. But I would do them all at the same time. I wouldn't go one by one. I would do each step. That's going to go on with dimensionals. And that's just a really faster way. It's like an assembly line. It's more efficient. That's why assembly lines are made. To batch make cards. So, because I'm showing you a couple different examples that I was inspired by as I was prepping this morning, I'm not doing it that way. I started off thinking that's what I was going to do. Okay, there's that. And then I'm going to bring in, again, I think she used some retired sequins down there. I'm going to bring in these 24, 26 in color shimmer dots. And she did, I think that's a good choice. I've got lots of them. I'm going to do a couple of pink ones down here. I'm going that way. She went the other way. That's fine. So there's the card I received. That's my inspiration card. And this is my first take on it. Okay? Now I'm moving on. And I pulled in this designer series paper. And this doesn't have the white background. It doesn't have so many colors, but I really wanted to use it. So I added a white layer. See, because I could put it right on there, but it kind of disappears in there. But if I add this layer, I'm just going to go ahead and do that. Oh, look. 2 sides to every paper. I tried something and I decided I didn't like it. But it works just fine as a layer on the other side. Yeah, I like clean. I get caught in the weeds when I get more elaborate, unless I'm copying somebody who's a master at it, like Kayla or Maheshwari. Okay, so this makes a narrower opening there. And that will fit. It's going to be very tight. I'm going to bring in, I could do it Petunia Pop, but there is a little bit of Berry Burst that does the outline, and that's what I'm going to bring in to do. So we'll see how that goes. Oh, I didn't clean it. Why didn't you guys yell? Oh, I lucked out on that. That would work just fine. To get to my card bases, I have a lot of pre-cut, the basic white thick cardstock. I have a lot. I think I went through a whole pack and cut them into card bases because that's what I use it for. And I knew I would use them. What's going on with you guys? I know it's crazy chaos over there. Probably not in your every day, but I hope not in your every day. It could be. Depending on who you are, where you are, what you do. Okay, and now we'll bring in so there's that one. I'll show you. There's 1 and 2. And then another one. There's a different paper. Oops, sorry. So if I did that, I could use black. I could heat emboss white, or I could do the white layer again. I think I'm going to do the white layer again. Oh, you like these colors, Paula? Again, this is all the same set of designer series paper, Unbounded Beauty. And most of the colors in it are the 2024 to 2026 in colors with a few accents put in. So let me show you. These are the in colors. And in addition, they did a few darker tones to be able to do like the outlines and stuff. So that is one of my outstanding reasons for sticking with Stampin' Up all the way is they just do such a good job with color choices and coordination. And again, I'm going to do the Berry Burst. Okay. And what else do I know? Nick started her new semester this week. She had an exciting, very happy Monday. There's that. And we'll put a few of these peach pie. So 1, 2, 3, that way. That's what I've got so far. Inspired by the one I received from Jenny. And now I've got one more variation for you, I think. Yes. I'm changing up the color a bit. Oh, and Nick and I went to the pet show. The showgrounds is like 3 tram stops. Whoops, wrong blade. From my house. I've just not done that very well, but it'll work. How did I not know orange was your favorite color, Paula? All these years. All the cards you've bought from me. So instead of a white card base and a colored mat, this time I'm swapping it around. Oh, but I did the wrong size. Well, that's the one for the matte layer, as opposed, you know, the inside's the smaller layer, not the big layer. Okay. Get rid of all this glue on my fingers now. And cut the right size square. Glad I figured that out before I got too far along, because the glue comes off more easily before it's dry. Let's try that again. Okay. There we go. Now, let's see how this stamps in peach pie. And make sure that is clean, since this is so light. There we go. I don't use that one very much. You can tell it's sort of squeaky and stiff. They loosen up with use. This one's very monochrome. So, if you are watching on replay, if you usually watch on replay, you should know that Facebook is changing their policy on videos, video archives, and they're only going to keep them for 30 days. Which means that if you're coming, you know, just later the same week, that's fine. But if you're coming through a link on my blog from an older post ever, you're going to need to do the YouTube link because, like I said, Facebook is not going to keep them longer than 30 days. So I am going to bring in some of these Riverside irregular pearls for the embellishment on this one, because I think white would be better than more peach pie, and I like that size and shape better than the regular pearls on this one. So there we go. Let me bring them all back in for you to see. There we go. I will be back probably next week, same time, same place. Oh, I know. I will show you if I do it. I was going to stamp one of these flowers and put it on there, possibly. We'll see. If I do it, you'll see it on the blog. And the blog is at nancysniftynotes.com. And if you have any questions, you can reach me, Nancy at nancysniftynotes.com. Like I was saying, I will be back. I'm planning to come back next week and do one more before I take off for Brisbane. But there's always a chance I'll cancel because life gets crazy the day before you travel. So I will see you then, or I will see you on the other side of Brisbane. If you want to follow what's going on at Onstage, check out my Facebook page, which is linked in my blog. And I will see you in 1 or 2 weeks. Thanks for joining me today, and I will talk to you later. Bye-bye.